A program like this comes about really through a vision, where you just kind of get this idea and it becomes a vision of something that could possibly happen.
We started out doing robotics, and what we've discovered is that students have other interests beyond robotics, and we're trying to develop interest in multiple areas in engineering and mathematics, and so we broadened the program this year. We took it from robotics and we added several other programs just to give kids different opportunities in different areas.
Then it's 3 rotations.
We started back in January through the technology department. We pulled in a core group of teachers who have been known to use technology in the district and robotics in the district, and we started with a full group brainstorm session. What do we think this program should look like?
Good, come on.
We went with things that were high interest, such as game design. We expanded on a robotics program just to take kids to the next level there. We added the maker space here at the secondary level just because that's cutting edge technology, a lot of programming and 3D printing, which are cutting edge technologies in education now. And then we added the program STEM Racing just because it was a very high interest item for students, plus it brought in a lot of the things we're trying to incorporate into our programs. It has a lot of math and physics. So it brings in that math and science together in a very engaging, fun atmosphere.
When you go into that robotics class and you see these kids, you take a look at them and they're working on these robots, they're working on coding, they're working on game design, they're working on all these things. You can actually see their minds working, and especially go and see the kinder kids. That's where you really get to see the creative, innovative type of learning that is taking place totally out of the box.
What are you making?
A big tower.
How tall is it?
Really tall.
Every single program we brought in this year are new in some facet. So the challenge, I think, was getting teachers ready. We have great teachers and they jumped right in. A lot of them learned it on their own. We gave them materials and they actually kind of worked on it, developed the curriculum. So I think it's been a great experience for the teachers as well as the students, and for myself as well, because we've successfully implemented several new programs. Now the next challenge is to continue to build on those to make it even bigger and better.
I'm building a lion.
You're building a lion? How are you doing that?
We look at the book and we get the pieces from here and we put them together and then we program it from a computer.
It's bringing Dr. Alejandro's vision to life for our 21st century learning. So we developed a program. It's open to all students, and our program looked at the vision and we found ways to bring it to life.
The roller coaster. It's going to be awesome.
The reason that we are going to STEAM is because of the A, which is the arts. That's a creative portion of the brain that is so critical. You see a young child, and that young child might come up with something that might seem ridiculous to us. But you know what? That child builds a dream, and then that child will work on making that dream a reality, because today's learner, they don't mind failing. It's an opportunity for them to problem solve and critically think of a solution.
All right. Go ahead and press down there.
This is the first year I teach robotics, so it's been a real change for me. I really have enjoyed the opportunity. It's been a learning experience for me, for the kids, and I've learned a lot off of them because some are repeat robotics.
I was programming the robots today, and we're trying to get a robot to go to Mars and see if we can do the right rotation or to go farther or less farther than it did before.
Technology is so around them that there's very little guiding through. It's just like tell them what they need to do and they kind of take off from there.
A lot of facilitated learning where the teacher doesn't have to tell them everything, basically point them in the right direction, give them the right resources, and the kids just take off on their own.
So we need to have a different way of doing things. And the different way of doing things is helping students become partners in their own education.
At the elementary level, the kids are operating in centers. We have an electronics station where we're using the Little Bits curriculum. We have a gaming station where the kids are learning Minecraft and GameStar Mechanic, where they're actually creating games, not just playing the games. There's an art component. Some of the art is separate art and some of the art is being integrated into the other centers. We have a lot of journaling where they're writing about what they're learning and what they're predicting and thinking. And we have a multimedia station where the kids are learning Kid Pics and Comic Life, iMovie, and they're learning to be great storytellers.
So what they're using is the iMovie app, which most of the iPads have them. It's a free download on the iPad. And what they do is they're going in there and they're selecting which trailer they want to use.
And we picked Fairy Tale.
They picked their fairy tale. So then what they did was they brought their Halloween costumes and they decided that they were going to make a story off of the three princesses, and they used Captain America to help them with their story. And by the end of it, they have a cute little movie trailer. And so what this does is it kind of motivates them, and I tell them if you all ever want to be a director to a movie, or it's just a way of kind of picking their brain and letting them know that maybe one day they can, make a movie.
It's a cardboard car using Little Bits electronics to make it move. It used a Lego wheel and a spin, and right here it uses a spin mover to move the Lego wheel around while being connected by the battery through this orange circuit right here. And then there was the light sensor, which tells how much electricity goes through here and how fast this motor moves.
Ready? I'm a science teacher, so it's just like running a hands-on activity. And there's a lot of math involved in like the first 2 days because we're doing a lot of graphing and calculating speed and an average time. So they have to develop certain skills like making sure they're stopping the stopwatch on time, making sure that they're calculating the average, making sure that they calculate the speed, that they're graphing it correctly.
We practice with our RC cars, which go a little bit fast, and we practice for the big race. After 10 laps of the race, the pit crew exchanges the tire and removes the batteries and put in a new one. If there's a second driver, another person goes in and does the other 10 laps.
On your mark, get set, go!
We run that kind of like a tournament style. So I tell all students, you know what, you have to understand that it's based on skills. So it's single elimination. Once you're out, you're out. A lot of students don't realize that a pit crew is so important as far as for a racing team because they're the ones that have to do all the repairs, all the changing of tires, the battery removal, figuring out, how come their car, doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
The challenging part is how to keep the car straight and try to turn it when you're in a race. I learned that if you're not working as a team, it won't work and you take too long. And if you try to rush your car and go all around, it won't work because then it will mess up the tires.
Right now, I'm in the program called the Makerspace. And Makerspace, you basically have to build everything. So you have to program everything, you have to build everything, and you have to make sure that it works. The program that we're using actually is the Arduino, and we're building everything from either wood or using electronics. That's the whole program. And when we have this program, we have different challenges. Like we had one where we had to program a traffic light, and then this one that we're doing currently now is that we had to cross a bridge that we had to build from cardboard. So here's my robot right here, and as you can see, it has a motor, some tires. Everything here is built by hand except for the tires. And this right here, we've actually 3D printed the back tire. As you can see, it rotates a little bit.
Explain a little bit about that, about the 3D printing.
Well, the 3D printing basically is you have a 2D object, but then you have a Z-axis, so you can add depth to it. And then once you add the Z-axis, you look it over, and you can add holes through it, or you can add certain things. Like right here, I actually printed something pretty cool. I printed the Statue of Liberty. And there's basically endless, so anything that's 3D, you can print it, and now it's not limited to any 2D printing. So what we use for our 3D printers, we use a little silk linen that holds tightly when melted together. It's kind of like a plastic. So once we created our robot, we needed a power source, usually a 9-volt battery. And as you can see here inside is our Arduino. You can see it's hooked up with our motors, but each side controls one speed and one certain type of motor. I would really recommend anybody who's coming to the program because it's very fun and it's actually very educational.
It's really about experience, because without this program, the kids are not going to experience most of the stuff at home. They're not going to experience it right now in our regular classroom. So this is important, kind of an eye-opener, just to give them experiences in different areas.
And also another really cool feature about this is that it's not only like I've been to other programs, it's not the regular one where everything's already pre-made for you. You actually get to use power drills, and you get to use some screwdrivers and stuff like that. Like one time I was having to cut this board out, we had to use a saw actually. Right now I'm taking out the Arduino so you could have a look at it. Well, the Arduino takes in some inputs and outputs of electricity, and that's why we need our battery. So the Arduino gets the electricity, then it changes it into a sort of electricity that the motor will actually get. So right here, this is our power cover, but once we take this off, it puts the regular Arduino.
What is that on top of the Arduino?
It's like a little shield that we have here, so that none of this gets damaged. See, it's the Arduino written down right there. There's multiple slots that we have, and you can see they're numbered, and everything that's programmed. Here's where our battery comes in with a special cord, and this is where the USB comes in to connect to the computer. And everything here, it has to be programmed through here, so it's basically code talk. It's not like, oh, like here's a new program here, I'm just gonna throw you in there. You know, as I said before, the teachers walk you through it step by step so you actually know what you're doing instead of just typing a whole bunch of words on a program.
I would say today it's probably best if you work on your skills like Pit Crew.
This program it's designed for students. We picked the programs we did because we thought they'd be interesting to students, and our programs are very flexible. If students say, I want to learn more about this, we try to make it happen. And that's what I think the key is to this program, and the future of this program is getting feedback from students. What do you like? What are you interested in? How can we make this happen for you? And just keep providing access to resources and experiences.
We're moving by leaps and bounds because that's the caliber of students that we have at West Oklahoma ISD. Our kids have the vision. We've got the interstellar generation right here in our schools today.